Okay. 2-1121. So today we're going to solve and graph inequalities. Solve and graph inequalities. So grab your notebook, write this down. Solve and graph the inequalities. All right, this is actually like what you've been learning. You've been learning since October. So if I look back at your notes from October, no, that's November. Let's see. Is there anything from October? Okay. From November. So November 2nd, I taught you one-step equations. Oh no, it was before that. This is from November, but then I also taught you how to do one-step equations with adding and subtracting before, which is why I keep saying October. Yeah, there it is. October 22nd. 26, I taught you how to solve these equations. Guess what? We're going to do this exact same thing today. This, just a little bit different, just a little bit different. So let's get started. We're gonna have an inequality that we need to solve. So we're gonna start off with this first problem. X plus 5 is greater than or equal to 27. So everybody copy this down. Okay, now, just like we learned back in October, back in November, we want X all by itself. We want X all by itself. So we're going to draw the bars that separates the left side from the right side. Now your goal is to get X by itself. So I have to move this 5. This 5 is in the way. I don't like it. So what you have to do is you have to move it. The way you move it is you do the opposite of this.
You do minus 5, right?
You do the opposite of this operation. This operation is an addition sign. So you think about like, what is the opposite of addition? It's subtraction. So we're going to subtract 5. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side. Minus 5.
22.
Okay, you got to watch when I say like, hey guys, what do I do? What's your answer? That's your cue to chime in. If not, it's called interrupting the teacher. So you got to listen to what I'm saying. If I say, what do I do next? And then there's a pause, that's when students are responding. Okay guys, what's your answer? And then there's a pause, that's the time where students chime in. If not, you're just interrupting the teacher. So, plus 5, the reason we do this is because this gets eliminated. It actually equals 0, which is what we want. We just want X here. So again, addition, we turn it into subtraction. It's the opposite operations. Now this inequality right here, this pretty little inequality, you're literally just going to bring it straight down there. So this inequality does not change. Don't be doing crazy stuff to it. Just bring it straight down. Now we do this math over here. Now you're going to tell me, what is 27 minus 5?
22.
Thank you very much. 22. All right, cool. So that's what we've been learning back in November. Now we're going to apply it to things we learned last week. First thing you're going to do is you're going to graph, because the title of today's lesson is Solve and Graph. So we're graphing. Okay, so we are going to put this number in the middle, that number right in the middle. Then we're going to do 2 numbers below and 2 numbers above. So 2 numbers below, 2 numbers above. Okay, open or close circle?
Close.
Close. So that still stays the same. That, no difference. Are you going to shade to the left or are you going to shade to the right?
Right. Left.
So this arrow is pointing to the right, so we're going to shade to the right. Literally going to do the same inequality that you see there. You see, these two inequalities match. They match, so I shaded in the right direction. So we learned this back in November, and this part is what we've been working on since last week, right? So the -5, that's November. And this graphing stuff was introduced to you last week. All right, let's move on. Next problem. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Okay, what if I have a problem that looks like this? 2x is less than 26. Now, when you have this 2x and they're kind of like squished together, there's no plus sign, there's no minus sign, there's no multiplication sign, there's no division sign. It's just the number and the variable pushed together. What operation does this stand for, though? What operation is there that you don't see?
Multiplication.
It's multiplication. So here, when you guys see it's 2x, whatever number it is next to the x, that is multiplication. So therefore, in order to undo it, what is the opposite of multiplication?
Divide.
Division. Very good, guys. Thank you. So I'm going to divide by 2. Whatever number this is, I'm going to put it right there. Divide by 2. This gives you 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is perfect. Leaves x by itself. Bring this straight down. Don't change it. Don't do anything to it. Now to the math. What's 26
13.
divided by 2? Yes, 13. If you need to do old school math, do old school math. No one's telling you not to. 2 goes into 2 one time. Bring down the 6. 2 goes into 6 3 times, right? So we have 13. Awesome. So this part is what you guys learned back in, I hate to repeat myself, November. Some of you, depending on who you had for math last year, you actually learned this last year. Your 6th grade teacher might have like, let's just do it. Because it's pretty fun. I like equations. All right, and inequalities. Okay, now the second part is the graphing, which you guys have been doing since last week. I taught you that you take this number, not the 26, the number you solved for, the 13th. You put it right in the middle, 13 right in the middle. 2 numbers below it, and 2 numbers above it. So we have 2 numbers below it, 2 numbers above it. This number that you solved for, you put it right in the middle.
You want some? It's salt and vinegar.
No, thank you. I don't want to chip that salt and vinegar, but thank you for offering. We're good. Thanks. All right, open or close circle?
Open.
Open. Good. Because it doesn't have that little line, it's open. Do I shade left or do I shade right? Left or right?
Left. Left.
Thank you very much. Good job. So again, this inequality points in the direction that you have to shade. Okay? All right, I told you I would give you 4 prompts. We're 2 down, 2 more to go. All right, next, third problem. X over 3 is less than or equal to 15. X over 3 is less than or equal to 15. So, what does this line right here mean? What does this line right here mean?
Fraction.
Yes, what else? What operation?
Division.
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 So this fraction bar means division. So you ask yourself, what is the opposite of division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So we're going to multiply by 3. Whatever number is next to the 3, or the x, I should say, that's the number you're using. So we have x, bring this down, less than or equal to. What's 15 times 3?
45.
If you need to go on the side and multiply by 3, by all means, do it. All right. So this is the first part. This is called solving. So you solve for it. Fantastic. Now the second part you do is you graph it. So 45 goes in the middle. Whatever number you get here goes right in the middle. 44, 43, 46, 47, right? 2 numbers below, 2 numbers above. I'm not asking for more. Some of you are giving me the longest number lines in the world. Open or closed circle?
Open. No, closed.
Yeah, extra little line right there gives you closed. Now, which way do you shade? Left or right?
Left. Left.
There it is. There it is. Okay. One more problem. What operation do you think I'm going to give you next?
Division.
I just gave you division.
Multiplication.
Someone's not paying attention to his notes.
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Because the first one I gave you was addition, second one was multiplication, third one was division, and the last one, so you have one of each, is subtraction. All right, x minus 7 is greater than 11. So first thing you have to do is draw your magical bars. These bars you guys have been drawing since October. All right, so if it says minus 7, what are you going to do? What's the opposite of minus 7?
Addition.
Addition. So I'm going to add 7 to this side, add 7 to this side. Add 7 to both sides. Both sides. Here you're just left with x. You bring down the inequality as is. And then you do the math on this side. 11 plus 7 is 18. The last thing you're going to have to do today is to put that number in the middle. And 2 numbers below it and 2 numbers above it. That is all. Now, open or close circle?
Open.
Open. How do you know? Because there's no little extra little line, right? Also,
Yeah.
you can refer back to the notes from the 1st of February when we first talked about open and closed circle. Feel free to use all of your notes. Like, no one is stopping you. You should have your notes in a notebook, all like nice and ordered with the dates. So you can go back and like, oh, which ones are open? The ones without the little lines. Which ones are closed? The ones with the little line. That means equal to. Okay, shade. Left or right?
Right.
Right, because this is pointing to the right. It's like an arrow. It is literally pointing to the right. You see this inequality I'm going to trace in blue? It's the same arrow I just did here. These two have to match. If they match, you shade it in the correct way. Okay? All right. Are there any questions right now about this?